So usually when a nurse staffing agency decides to open up, the entrepreneur is really excited and has a really good passion to succeed. However, a lot of these business owners stumble when it comes to the principles of accounting and also managing cash flow because they find out that they might have all of these orders for nurses to go out and fill shifts, but the money coming in is going to take 30, 60, maybe 90 days, and it's a hassle to be able to balance cash flow when you have that type of situation. Luckily, nurse staffing and payroll factoring can help with these cash flow issues. There's actually an easy way to do it, and that's basically just avoiding these three most common mistakes when choosing a nurse staffing payroll factor. First of all, you want to make sure that you understand the basic outline of the factoring model before you go researching factoring companies. In a nutshell, you send out your nurses for shifts. They provide the services, show up at the hospital, clock in, clock out. You create your invoice and sell that invoice to the factoring company. After the factor buys the invoice, they're going to advance you a basic percentage of the invoice. It's going to be a majority of the invoice's gross value, usually between 70 and 90%, at which point the factor is going to communicate with your customers and have them send payments directly to the factoring company for those invoices. Once you receive payments, then the factor is going to take their fee and release the difference back to you. The second most common mistake that nurse staffing business owners make when trying to decide on which factoring company to use is that they assume that all factoring companies are created equal. And this couldn't be anything further from the truth. There are really large factoring companies that factor all different geographic locations, they factor all different industries, they're going to have a lot of money. One big reason why you don't want to assume that all factors are created equal is because a more niche factor is going to understand your business much better than somebody who funds across all different industries. So, when comparing and contrasting nurse staffing payroll funding companies, make sure that they understand the nurse staffing industry. Otherwise, you're going to be on the phone a lot explaining, industry terms like industry jargon, payment trends, typical turnaround times, and things like that. The third most common mistake to avoid is to choose a factor based on the lowest factoring fee only. There are a slew of different factoring fees a funding company could charge you. So if they come up, across the board saying, well, we can offer you a really low fee, that may sound good on the outside, but if you dig a little bit deeper, they may have a whole bunch of penalty fees or restrictions, requirements that you need to meet in order to get that really low factoring fee.